Well, I haven't heard much, obviously, since the Paddy McGinnity case. How's he bearing up? How's it affected him and, I guess, the footy club?
Yeah, well, Paddy's just understands very clearly what he did wrong, and he understands the penalty, and he's very remorseful. So he just wants to train well and be available to play next week.
It's one of those, I mean, such high publicity surrounding it, to sell him move on. Is it that simple for a young bloke that's probably thinking about it a fair bit at the moment?
Well, it's important that he just learns from it, and that's happened. He'll undergo the counselling. He's learnt from what the rules are. He's a lot more clear on all that, and I think from the moment he uttered the words, he was remorseful and realised that in the heat of the moment he'd made a mistake.
I suppose it's difficult for Paddy because he's working hard to stay in the team or get in the team. Does that affect the future, as in selection?
No. Oh, no, well, he doesn't get selected this week.
Yeah.
And next week the side will be selected on merit again. Well, I think his character stands up in that he admitted he made a mistake immediately. He owned up to it. He didn't try to hide it, didn't try to fob it off. Copped his whack, as Skeet said. Very remorseful and just wants to get on with playing football and be a wiser young man.
He plays a role in your team. Does that mean a player comes in that can play a similar role, or does that not, like a Chris Marston from the outside we see as a different type of player?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. It's more than likely we'll replace Paddy with Beau Waters. It'll be a straight swap, something like that.
Can you tell us just Beau Waters, he's ready to go. The last 2 weeks, what have you done to get him right and to make sure that he can play out hopefully the rest of the season?
Yeah, it was really around he'd landed awkwardly with that arm again a couple of times, knocked it, and it had got inflammation and pretty sore. So it was only going to continue to get worse throughout the remainder of the season. So to give him a good 2 week break and get rid of as much of that soreness as we could was going to pay dividends in terms of him being able to play at his best for the remainder of the year. So he's feeling great.
What about this week? I mean, the obvious question, that all the importance is towards maybe keeping yourself in the hunt for the top four. Are you confident you can get there?
Well, we're looking forward to the game against the Bombers. Yeah, they're playing good footy. So really looking forward to see how we match up against them, how we take on their style of game, and if our boys can maintain the style of footy they've been working on mastering.
Have you allowed yourself the luxury of looking at the fixtures to maybe...
I don't really get into that. No, I know there's people who map out all the permutations. Some people start doing it from round one. I'm a strong believer that that's a waste of time, because we'll know where we are in a couple of weeks' time without me going through the 100 scenarios this week and the 90 that are left that it could be next week, and then come round 24, it'll be there in black and white for us.
Simple scenario though, you keep winning. And
yeah, I'm aware of that. Yeah, yep. Could have said that from round one too. Keep winning every game, fair chance to be in the top two, maybe top four.
Huge carrot though, because I mean, without going into premierships, you can't really challenge. History says it's rare that you challenge from outside that top bracket. Yeah,
I'm not sure exactly what the history is, but the premiers have generally come from the top four. History is always there to be challenged, but we don't know where we're going to finish yet. We don't know what's going to happen, so play the Bombers.
You said a few weeks ago you felt you had a long way to go to get to the level of, and I presume you're talking about teams like Geelong and Collingwood. Have you got a better gauge on where you're at now, and are you any closer maybe to that sort of level?
No, I think it's going to take a little bit longer to really be approaching that level. A bit more maturity in the squad, more games played, longer with this group playing together. So that's our aim, is to be seen, as every year there's one or two teams that appear to be red hot favourites.
Can you win a premiership this year?
What date's it on, the grand final?
1st of October.
Ask me that day and I'll tell you if we're a chance.
Are you a chance now if I ask you today?
Well, we're going to play in the finals, so we're a big chance to be playing finals footy. And then if we win, you know the answer to that.
I get you sounded like you're saying that whatever you do this year, it's going to be only a stepping stone with regards to how good this group will be. So this isn't obviously as good as this squad's going to get.
Never let an opportunity go by, mate. Have a go at performing our absolute best this year, and come the end of the season, we'll know where we sit.
How about Darren Glass? Does he come straight back into the side?
If he's 100% fit and available, yeah, he'll come in.
Was it just general soreness, or was there a specific area that was particularly troubling you?
There's always a specific area, generally. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah.
Sure, he declared himself fit early in the week. Is that still the case, or?
Yeah, he's fit and available. Very keen to play. Yep.
Blokes like Coxie could have rested
Yeah.
pathetically last week, but he seems intent on playing through. So despite it might appear good for them come September, do you have to almost put that on them as opposed to them putting their hand up to say, yeah, I want a breather, because not so many want to have a rest?
I would certainly take in the players' opinion on what they feel having a week's break would mean to them, definitely. But it wouldn't be the overriding thing. It would be negotiated, basically.
John, we were a little bit surprised last week that Chris Marston actually dropped out of the side after getting 12 possessions, I think, coming on as a sub. Did you guys just feel that he needed a full sort of game in the waffle and things?
That was it, yeah. We want as many players at their absolute peak match fitness for the remainder of the season. So we've got to be very careful about how many times they get reduced ground time. I think Massa maybe had an instrumental bye not long before that. So we would have been more than happy to keep him in. His form warranted playing in that as that sub role again. But we've got quite a few players that will, one, benefit from some AFL ground time, as well as other players that will need to maintain good ground time to be at their peak match fitness.
John, there are reports that Coxie had actually suffered a broken rib. Is that actually the case, or is it more just soreness and things?
More just soreness and things, I think, yeah. That knock was pretty close to his hip. Got a bit of a whack, hip, rib, 3-letter words. Get a bit confused, but no, he's fine. Yeah. Obviously, we try to protect him a little bit for that first week, and yeah, he's feeling heaps better.